Hey everyone, doing well, I hope. Well, let's have a look at how to play Burning for You, the classic track by Blue Oyster Cult and Buck Dharma. I'm not going to waste any time chit-chatting about this one. Let's dig right into this one, shall we? We are in standard tuning, and this track starts with a big F power chord. Right there. Jumping into the opening melody line of the track. Which you repeat 3 times. We're on the 3 5s of the B, starting on the 5. Then you're going to go off to the 3, do a little trill, little hammer-on release from 3 to 5, and then grab the 5 of the G. Down to the 3 of the high E, back to the 5 of the B. Another little slow trill between 3 and 5, and finish on the 5 of the G. Repeat 3 times. Now there's a harmony line to this being played right here. 4 5 of the G, starting on the 5. Doing your little trill, little slow trill, and then grabbing the 7 of the D. And then down to the 5 of the B string. Roll back up to the 5 of the G. And do the same thing. 5, little trill, off to the 7. And that's the harmony part to this. Like I said, you're going to repeat that 3 times. After the 3rd time, you're going to slide into the 8. And this is kind of the little mini solo at the beginning. So, slide into 8. I'm going to go down to the 8 of the high E, pull it off to 7, grab the 8 of the B, and then roll back down to the 8 of the high E. Bounce off to the 5 of the B, slide it into 6, and then grab the 8 of the B string. 6 off to 5 again. String skip up to the 5 of the D. So that's the first half. Right? And then we're going to shift up here to the 10s and 12s. 10, 12 of the B, grab the 12 of the G. Off to the 9 of the G, back onto the 12. Down to the 10 of the B. And then string skip up to the 10 of the D string. A lot of string skipping going on here in these little mini solos and in the main solo. And it finishes like this. "12 of the D, double hit on the 9 of the G. And then you're going to move that into 10. Roll down to the 10 of the B. And then 12, 10 of the high E. 12 of the G, string skip. And finish on the 15 of the high E. All right? Let's play through that one time here. And now we're into the first verse. The first verse is A minor, E minor, D minor, back to A minor, and then off to G major. We do not need the full chords. We're only hammering on the bottom 3 or 4 strings. So all I do is just bar the bottom 3 strings, because that's really all I hear is just the bottom 3 strings of this A minor. Up to E, back to D, back to A, off to G. When you go off to G, of course, you're not just barring the 3rd fret. You're barring the 3rd fret of the B and the E, but you're grabbing the 4 of the G, right? Because that's G major. And so you're going to repeat that 4 times. Repeat. Now there's a bit of ping pong delay going on here, bouncing these little chords back at him, so it almost sounds like he's hitting it twice. Kind of like that. But he's not. He's only hitting it once, and it's the delay bouncing the second hit back at him, right? So like I said, you repeat that 4 times, and then we're into the pre-chorus, lots of power chords going on here. And that's also the chorus. This is the pre-chorus, and then there's a little shift, and then we go into the chorus, which is that. So it's A to G power chord, 3-finger power chord, back to G, move it back to A, back to G, and then off to F. Back to G, hit it twice, repeat. And then we're into this. So this is kind of palm muted, this section here. C power chord, off to an A, so it's like double hits, right? Up to a G power chord, so C off to A, into G, and then you kind of just reverse it. Off to F. Oh, sorry, and then you go back to G before you repeat this. Off to F. Up to G. Now, this time, you're kind of in the same melody, but we're changing what we're playing here. We do this instead. So we're doing the same thing. We're going from C to A to G, but we're hammering on the C power chord, and you're kind of augmenting it off to the 2nd fret here of the A string, off to A, up to G, into a D power chord, hit it again, and then you're going to go E power chord up to an F power chord, and then we're back into that again, and that's the chorus. So that little section there, this is the whole pre-chorus section. So and this is all palm muted, right? F, up to G, back to G, and then we play the same riff we were playing during the chorus. And I think you repeat it 3 times, and just before we go back into the melody line that we started the song with, we're going to jump back to F. Back into that again. This time we're only going to do it 2 times before we slide into 8. And it's another little mini solo about the same length as the first one, but it's different. So after we slide into 8, just a couple of like staccato notes, 8, 7, 8, back to 5 of the B, 8 slide into 10, and release back off to 8. And then this, 10, 8, 7, just reverse it, and then grab the 8 of the B. Grab the 10, little bend release, and then grab the 10 of the B. Finishing with this. So 13 of the high E, roll up to 13 of the B, and then off to 10. Back to 13 of the high E, and then off to 12 of the high E. String skip up to the 12 of the G, and then back to that 15th fret the same way we did the first time. Kind of like that. So let's run through that whole second solo. Into the second verse. Right? Repeat 4 times. Into the second pre-chorus. Up to G. Back to G, and this again. And I think you repeat that 4 times, and then we're heading into the solo at the end of this chorus, and we go back to this melody line again. But the lead guitar has already started playing over that with a big full step bend on the 8th fret of the B string. And he kind of releases it off to 5 and goes back onto the 8 while this is going on. And then the little lead into the solo. So 10th fret of the B, hit it 3 or 4 times. 3 times actually. 9 of the G, down to the 8 of the high E, and then finish on the 10 of the B. And then we're into the solo. So let's run through the solo here, and then we'll dig in how to play it. That is the solo, pretty close to the solo. So, we are starting with this, a little bit loose, kind of loose play going on here. We're going to rake down to a double stop on the B and the high E. Grab the 8 of the B on the way back up, right into a bend on the 7 of the G string. We're in A minor basically here. So you're going to rake down to that double stop, grab the 8 of the B right into a bend on the 7. And then you're going to rake into it again, back to the 8, and then we're going to go back to the double stop. And you're going to hit it twice. And then you're just going to do a couple of unison bends here, still holding this double stop here. You're going to grab the 7 of the G, and do a couple of unison bends. Into that right there. So So 7 off to 5 back to 7 of the G, and then down to the 5, 6 of the B, and then play that right into a bend on the 7. Release that off to 5, and then we're just going to bounce back and forth here between the 5 and the 7. Kind of like that. Twice, off to 5, 3 times, off to 5. that's the opening of the solo. Into this. Just right up the pentatonic, grabbing the blue note here on the 6, 7 5, 7 5, and now this little lick right here, he's going to pull off a 7 to 6 to 5, slide it back to 3, and then back onto 5, back off to 3, and then open E. Kind of like that. And he's grabbing some pinch harmonics in here as well. And then open E, which he just kind of lets ring out. So from the beginning of the solo. So that's where we left off with this open E hanging here. And then we're going to grab one single note here at the 2nd fret of the D string, and then we're going to jump up here. So you're going to grab a D minor here, a little D minor chord, just barring the 10th fret of the G, B, and high E. And then you're just going to bounce off the 12th fret of the high E back to the little D minor. Now back onto the 12, while you're still holding the bar, into this. (15) of the high E, release it off to 12. Now you're going to go into a unison bend here, still holding on that 12 of the high E, bending the 15 of the B. And then you're going to go off to 13, hit it twice of the B. On to 15, hit that twice, and then a little bend. And then off to the 12th fret of the G and hit it like 3 or 4 times. Right, so that's that little section there. Now, very quick shift back down here. So you're going to go 2, 4 of the G. Grab that 4, give it like 3 or 4 little half-step bends, very staccato. Release it back to the natural note, and then grab the 5 of the B. Now, shift up here a little bit, do a little trill, start on the 6, and then do a little trill between 5 and 6 of the B, up to 7 of the G, back to 5 of the B, and now back to the 7. This is a little tricky, this part, and you're going to go back to that 7, pull it off to 5, and go into a full step bend with your index. Kind of like that. And then you're going to go off to 4, hammer on to 5, pull it back off to 4, pull it back off to open. Kind of like that. Into this. So starting on the 2 of the G, on to 4, pull it off to 2, pull it off to open, repeat 4 times. Do the same thing, but now on the 2, 5 of the D. And then finally finish on the 2. And I think when you're on the D string, you're only doing it 3 times. Little double stop here, 5 of the G, 6 of the B. Up to a double stop on the 8th fret of the B and the E 3 times. And then finish with that. 10 off to 12, 10 off to 8. Little bend release, 10 off to 8, and finish on the 10 of the B. So. That is the solo. Let's take it right from the very beginning. And that is the end of the solo, back into pre-chorus. I'm burning, I'm burning. I can't sing and play at the same time. I'm terrible at this. But you're just back into that again, right, for one final chorus. And that is how you play that one, start to finish. And I don't think I missed anything. So anyway, I certainly hope you found that helpful and somewhat accurate. The solo is a little, it's a little loose, this solo, so a little difficult picking out exactly what he was doing. But I think I got pretty close, maybe 97% of the way there. Might be an odd bum note in there, but you know, it's pretty close. And certainly hope that helped you out. If it did, please hit that like button. Drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be awfully nice. And hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may be. And we will see you next time. Cheers.